Say we come back to Philadelphia, so I got a case. I'm not thinking none of it. I'm talking about no way, shape, or form. I'm not like, okay, mostly every young black male in Philadelphia has a case. You know what I mean? And so I just thought it was just another case, you know, that would just, he would deal with it and we would keep on moving.
When I called my case, I heard a lot of stories. I come to jail, everybody said, yeah, dang, you pointing a gun at a cop? Yeah, you riding this, that, and that. I'm like, come on, man. I point a gun at a cop, it's gonna be shots fired and somebody's gonna die, you know what I'm saying?
My daughter had called me and said that the house that he was in had got busted and he was one of the person in there and got arrested. And I was trying to figure out what did he get arrested for? Because I knew my son didn't really sell no drugs.
Bang bang, he had some weed, like, man, go grab a Dutch. So I'm like, man, fuck that. My pop got killed down South Philly. People get killed every day down South Philly. I went upstairs to get the gat. As I'm walking outside, great charge, spin a block. Skirt, 4 men jumping out, all black. Like, you know, South Philly people get killed. So I duck, I'm behind the car, I'm like, yo, who that? They like the police. I get to court, preliminary. Well, this young man, he pointed a gun at us. He tried to run us down.
Not till probably about 6 months after it, you know, that I realized that it was really something major. So I went to the court case. When I was sitting in the courtroom, you know, I was hearing what the police officers were saying. I was hearing what the DA was saying. And I was like, wow. But that's not the kid that I experienced. That's not the kid that I encountered.
When I went to court, I asked the judge, I said, what reason am I pointing a gun at a cop for? Like, let me know. I'm not on the run for a homicide. I'm not miserable, like I'm not going crazy out here, you know what I'm saying?
And so as the judge dismissed the other 3, you know, it came up time for Meek to be addressed. And so his attorney presented his case. He was able to raise reasonable doubt. And so I was like, okay, he's cool. His attorney comes back to the table, he leans back and he whispers something in Meek's ear. And so all of us, his family, myself are like, what is he telling him? Next thing you know, he tells the judge that, you know, he want to have Meek take the stand. And Meek gets up there and he holds his arm up, he holds his hands up and right up, and he swears on the Bible. And so the judge addresses him and she says, Robert Ram, were you present on the date in question? He said, yes. She said, did you have a gun? And he said, yes.
Getting locked up and actually being locked up, like, man, they just took everything away from you know what I'm saying?
I was blown away.
My bail was like $200,000. I called home. My mom like, yeah, we're gonna bring you some drawers and socks. I'm like, I ain't staying here. To call him, ask him he got $5 grand. Call him, ask him he got $7 grand. But you know, when you get to jail, it's a whole different story. A million people say they might help you and look out for you. As soon as you get behind the walls, it's a whole different story. Nobody answers your phone.
Forget the record deal, forget it. I'm like, this kid life is about to be over. Because he stepped on the stand and he said, and he pled guilty to having a gun. The guy told him that I could beat the drug case, but I can't beat the gun case. If the judge put the drugs and the gun together, he was looking at 5 to 10 years.
I call him, yo, what's up? Like, what do y'all got? Like, anything to help me towards getting out? Oh yeah, we gonna put something together, throw the free Meek Mill party. You know, we selling DVDs, they selling DVDs. I'm on the cover of the DVD. DVDs go for $10. My mom called him, Rami said y'all had something for him. All right, we're gonna bring it around later. Never come, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I just won't deal with y'all. And I was locked up with some old head. It was like, it's just meant for them not to be around you. When things get bigger, it's just meant for them dudes not to be around you. There ain't nothing but get bigger, you know what I'm saying?
Even my lawyer, you know, he told me, Charlie, there's nothing I can do with this case. This kid pled guilty. It's a mandatory 5 to 10. I was like, I just couldn't believe it. And I'm just happy that I didn't accept that. So I made my phone calls and I finally got in touch with a young man, a friend of mine. He introduced me to Deborah Griffith when she was a former judge. She said she would take the case. You know, she finds that, in fact, that he wasn't in the house with the gun. The gun was actually found not on his person, but on the ground. And the drugs were in the house. And the only way you could put a drugs and gun together if they're 6 to 8 feet, you know, proximity to each other. So from that, it got reduced to 11.5 to 23 months.
I just felt that like that case, like there's no way, like what we doing right now, I know that's not gonna stop us.
And while he was going through the trial, we were able to do Flamers 2.
In the city, Flamers 2, man. Like, it's the joint.
I met Jalil Beats off of MySpace.
Jalil Beats, holla at me.
I'm just like, send some beats. He sent me some beats. The first beat he sent me was so fly.
You know me, I'm so fly, but looking like money every time I ride by. Got them Benjis in my pocket, it's money on my mind. If it ain't about no paper, then it ain't about cause I get.
I haven't even held a conversation with me. Everything was all viral to like the internet, you know what I mean? I had did So Fly, and he had just put it out, and then he got locked up. So first time I heard it was like on the radio.
I was in jail. Me and a couple people, there's 4 people in the cell in the multi. We playing Uno. And some boy like, yo, your song on the radio right now.
I feel like Meek Mill is like the new 50 Cent. Meek Mill hasn't put out officially an album. It's like I can go to each Flamers and get at least 5 singles off of that can go in rotation at any radio station.
He got joints on there right now that I'm just about to do a whole 45 minutes on straight.
I was going to an after hour with me and my friend. So some guy came up and was like, yo, this Meek's sister, I got them. You know, I'm telling my friends, like, just be quiet. Like, we about to get in here for free. And for somebody to come to me and say, this Meek's sister, we got her, you know, like her and her friends buying us drinks and stuff. I'm just soaking up the free stuff. I'm like, I don't know who Meek Mill is, but we in this party.
I'm Kendra G. I'm a radio host. I work for 100.3 The Beat. The first part about Meek Mill is I was actually doing an interview with T.I. And everyone was like, you know, T.I. is going to bring Meek Mills with him from Philly. And I had just moved to Philly at the time, so I wasn't familiar with Meek at all. So I'm thinking, who is this guy? I have T.I. Why are we talking about a local artist at this time? So T.I. and I are doing the interview, and then he's like, you know, I want to bring out, you know, just signed to my situation, Meek Mill. And he brings out Meek, and the crowd goes crazy. And I'll never forget it because, again, you know, I had just moved to Philly. I think I've been in Philly probably at the time about 2 months. And it was like the crowd gave him the same love they gave T.I. And I've never been in a situation where a local artist got so much love than as an A-list, because T.I. is A-list. You know, he's a mega superstar. And they were giving Meek the same love. So I was like, wait a minute, I gotta start paying more attention.
Flamers. Hey. I got questions for the streets too hotter than me. Hottest in the city. The hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Ain't nobody gon' top. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Ain't nobody gon' top. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Ain't nobody gon' top. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Hottest in the city. Ain't nobody gon' top. Yeah, Meek Mill.
Put that out, and that really kind of just took off for him. You know what I mean? It took off for him. It really, really made, like, it really started taking shape. But the thing that was amazing to me, because I had been involved in hip hop for over 30 years in Philadelphia, is that not only he had his peer group, but he had younger kids.
I like what would it my time them do? She got teach time do. Hey, is this sky got blue flying? This shit like a lion, fit budget, I do like lion. I'm better on lion, lion, set me for lion.
Not only he had his peer group, he had older people.
I'm not a rapper, nor a trapper, nor a skinner, nor a dinner. I be posting on my block, getting guap with a nigga.
And she actually educated her kids about who Meek was. She said Meek speaks to the people. He's not just of the young people, he's of all people. So he was in jail for 7 months, 7 to 8 months, then he did another 6 months on house arrest.